blah, blah. We have this is now recording our class. Everybody say, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. I write
Very
myself
good.
in the future.
Now, the camera is actually, it only records everything that's being done on the smartboard.
So it's in that.
Screen recording.
It's a screen recording. It actually records whatever's on the screen here, and because this is locked onto this, it also appears here. So anything we go over every day, pretty much every day, will be recorded and placed on here. And then if you need to see something for a second time, you can do that.
Wait, is it live?
It's live. Well, it's not. It won't be on the It won't be on the internet until when we end the teaching today. I will upload it to YouTube.
Do you edit it?
You're gonna cut this part.
No, I don't edit. No, I'm not. I don't have time to waste editing things. So,
He doesn't edit. It's not anything. Why would
so
you
yeah,
edit this?
it's pretty straightforward.
Really stupid right now.
Okay. Now, remember how we talked yesterday about how coming from lunch is a really difficult thing on a kid? Right? Hard to get your focus and your concentration. So we got to pull it in now, and we got to get you ready to learn and to do the best that you possibly can. Let's see here. Let's talk about this question with Jerry, and he has to deliver parts from where he works, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Jesse.
Or Jesse. Jesse has to deliver parts from where he works to Gary's garage and to Phil's Fix-It. Notice the alliteration. Each trip to Gary's covers 15 miles, and to Phil's covers 10 miles. Something going on there, boys? All right. If Jesse makes 2 trips to Gary's and 3 to Phil's, how far did he drive? Now, just to let you know, I mean, I know there's easier ways to do this than I'm about to do it, but I like things to be visual. I think I learn really well visual. How many people here think it helps to see things as you're doing it, right? That's how I am. Some people are more auditory. They like to hear it more. They tend to be really good at music. I stink at music. All right. So I'm going to do, Jesse is going to go to Gary's garage. That's a GG. And Phil's Fix-It. Now, how far is it to Gary's garage? Everybody? 15 miles. So I got to go 15. Now, and then, let's see. If I go 15 miles to Gary's garage, and then I go 15 miles again to Gary's garage, how far did I go altogether?
30.
30 miles. Okay. Now, to Phil's Fix-It, how far did I go?
10.
10, and then
More.
another 10, and then
Another 10.
another 10. Now, most people would have said 15 times 2 for up here, and 10 times 3 here, or you might have just done 15 plus 15 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Anyway you want to look at it, that's 30. And then, if I go 30 in one and 30 in the other, how much do I have?
60.
60. And now, if you put 60, you did a nice job.
I get. I
However,
finally got something right.
did anybody put 120?
What?
Did anybody put 120?
Watch that be right.
See, I think 120 is a really good answer too. Because if you drive to Phil's, don't you kind of have to drive back?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're giving
smart.
you the ratio for like back and forth.
But he only
Right,
said
and,
drive 2
and
Gary.
this
He
is the
never
point
said
I'm
drive
going to bring
back.
up. I actually think I worded this question poorly. I think I should have been clear. If I wanted the 120, I should have said something about round trip. Okay? So 60, I think, is the answer that we would mostly come up with. But if you came up with 120, I think you're thinking really, really well. Okay? Any questions about that? Excellent. I am glad to hear it. Okay. Now, sometimes I add a little PowerPoint presentation to the lesson that we have to go over. So I think I'll do that right now. Escape. Ta-da. Oh, I got to get my glasses on, the really cool glasses. Readingglasses.com, and they're called Click, C-L-I-C. And the guy that taught me about them is a former Special Forces, Special Ops guy in the U.S. military. Yeah, they are cool, and they're not really that expensive.
They have such a unique name. Readingglasses.com.
Yeah. Oh, that's the intelligent way to do things.
Don't stop talking.
Yeah, we don't want to... See, what's so bad about talking?
We're not coming to the lesson.
It's really when you talk,
Yeah.
right? Talking is not a bad thing. I actually like when kids talk in class. I really do.
It's not math though.
But, well, that's a good thing. That's a start. But the problem is, if you talk at the wrong time, you can't learn whatever it is that's going on. You know what I mean? So you got to pick and choose your moments to talk. And I actually try very hard to build time in during each class for you to talk. Because I don't want you to get bored in class, and I don't want you to get stuck. Okay, so here's today's lesson. And what you'll notice is that the lesson sheet follows along with what we have here, okay? Now, algebraic expressions and variables. We're going to talk about translating them, evaluating them, the order of operations, blah, blah, blah. How many people have heard the word algebra? How many people get happy thoughts when they hear the word algebra? We have one happy thought person. Okay. There are many people who hear the word algebra and instantly cringe at the very thought of the word. Does anybody know what an algebra is? You're on the right track.
Letters mostly made up of numbers, letters, and also like order, like a value.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What's the USS Constitution? What USS? That's a boat. What is the U.S. Constitution? What is the Constitution? Tell me if you don't. You must know this. Right now, Miss Lau is cringing. Right, and she's one of my best friends. I love Miss Lau. She is cringing at the fact that you don't know the answer to this question. It's a list of rights are in there, rules, regulations, rights. Basically, the United States Constitution is a document that tells you how to live as an American. It says to you things like the government can't just arrest you for no reason. Okay? The Ten Commandments are a little different. That was Moses, Mount Sinai, not the one over there.
My bad.
The whole deal. Okay. You know, thou shalt not steal,
Yeah, I get
no
it,
gods
I get it.
before me, blah, blah, blah. Now, when we think about the United States Constitution, what it does, Spencer, I think it is, head in the game. You're going to feel like you want to do that. You have to fight that feeling, okay? Now, with the United States Constitution, it tells us how we're supposed to behave, what's expected, and most importantly, it tells the federal government what they are and are not allowed to do. Now, the first observation I have about the United States Constitution is Obama has never read it because he disregards the thing all the time. And our other politicians don't have the courage to call him on it. So, my little venting moment out of the way, it's a set of rules that tell you how to, if you will, be an American. It tells the government what they can do, it tells you what rights you have, etc. And algebra is a set of rules. But instead of talking about the way the government behaves and the way we behave, it talks about the way variables behave and certain rules that variables need to follow. Now, if you were to go into like a math dictionary, and believe it or not, they have such things, and you said, what is an algebra? It would say it is an arithmetic with variables. Now, have you done arithmetic before? Been doing it for years, right? Right? Add, subtract, multiply, divide, all the properties, all those other things. And algebra literally is an arithmetic. So because you know how to operate in an arithmetic already, believe it or not, you already know most of the ways to operate in an algebra. The only difference is in an algebra we use variables, and in an arithmetic we use numbers that you're used to. And you're at the age now where we start to transition over. Okay, so an algebra is a structure like the Constitution or the rules for a baseball, soccer, or football stadium. If someone turns around, let's say you're playing baseball. Last night the Mets had a big win. Anybody see the big win by the Mets last night? They were losing 7-1. They came back and won 8-7. Big win, yep. Now, well, in their division, they're number one. They're in first place right now. Imagine if I got up at bat. Here I am. I go to Citi Field. I get up. Get myself set. Pitch comes in. I hit the ball. I stroke it into center field for a base hit. Now, what do I do next? Run where?
So first base.
First base. What if I didn't drop the bat? What if I held it up over my head and screamed, "Ah!" and hit the first baseman right over the head with the bat?
We got disqualified. Or like
I would have major problems because I what? broke the rules, right?
Plus you hit
What if-
someone in the head with a bat.
Ah, little boo-boo. What if I ran to third? And they threw the ball to first, and I ran to third and went, safe! And they went, what are you talking about? You're supposed to... No! Not everybody knows the rules. We're all supposed to run the first base when you play baseball. Well, in math, there's certain rules that you have to know. Can you imagine if you don't know the rules? How are you going to get the questions right? Now, imagine if we went to, say, I'm just going to pick a country like New Guinea. Somehow I don't think they have DirecTV putting MLB on in New Guinea. So we go to New Guinea and we grab a kid from New Guinea. Now, I'm purposely not choosing soccer because they play soccer everywhere. But I don't think the kids in New Guinea play baseball. So we bring the kid from New Guinea to America, we put him up at plate, we give him a bat, and we tell him to go play baseball. What is he going to do? He's going to look at you like, what?
You want me to hit somebody?
Yeah, exactly. Do you ever like see little kids, they don't even know where to stand, right? So we have to teach you where to stand. We have to teach you how to get used to these things. And that's what we're going to do over the beginning of this year. Now, an algebra, we just said, has variables, and an arithmetic have numbers, but they're pretty much the same exact thing, okay? Here's an example of how they're the same. In arithmetic, what's 3 plus 2?
5.
5. Good. In an algebra, 3x's plus 2x's make what?
5x.
5x's. You know, this is really something that I think you all know. For example, if you were home right now, if you had 3 shirts and 2 shirts, what would you have?
5 shirts.
Now, doesn't an X stand for anything?
Yes.
So what this statement here is really saying is 3 of anything plus 2 more of that same anything always adds up to 5 of that anything. Now imagine, couldn't I say 3 cars plus 2 cars is 5 cars?
Yes.
Or, let's speak a language we all understand completely.
C.
3 chocolate chip cookies plus 2 chocolate chip cookies
Two.
is what?
Cinco.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. No, 5 chocolate chip cookies. Okay.
She said yummy 5.
3 puppy dogs, 2 puppy dogs, 5 puppy dogs. That's our old dog Bismarck. So, oh, I had German Shepherds for 50 years. Yeah. All right. What's the cool conclusion? Since you already know a whole lot of arithmetic, you already know a whole lot of algebra.
Woo.
And I find that comforting. I really do. It's my job to get you to relate the two. Now, what about variables? In the English language, the root word of variable is vary. Now, if I tell you that something is varying, what is it doing? Go ahead. Yeah, when you say a whole bunch of, what it does is it changes, okay? So a variable changes. Most of the time, to represent a variable, we use things like letters. N, X, A. Those are all, generally speaking, going to be variables. All right? And a couple of background things. 3x means 3 times x. And lastly, we have to know about the order of operations. And you should remember that from like 5th grade, 4th, 5th grade, 3rd grade. PEMDAS, right? You know what PEMDAS stands for? Please excuse my dead Aunt Sally. Right? Yeah, some people think it's my dear Aunt Sally, but it's my dead Aunt Sally. No, it's my dead Aunt Sally. Because you have to have fun. Wait till we do die later in the year.
Dead and?
Dead Aunt.
No,
It's like Pink Panther. Dead Aunt. 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 Oh, you guys, that's it. Quick on the uptake here. Okay. The order of operations is, P stands for parentheses or packages. I kind of like packages because there's always something in a package. Like, imagine if you didn't get something in a package. Right? Like if it was Christmas time and they gave you an empty box. Wouldn't you look at like, what the heck?
I love that.
Right? Well, I'll tell you what. I have a cousin, Henry. He's a few years older than me. Henry was a torturous soul. Yeah, he was. He taught me how to play 52 pickup.
That's like a game for cards.
Yeah, there's 52 cards in a deck. So when your older cousin or older brother or sister comes up and says, hey, want to play 52 pickup? Don't say yes.
I learned why.
Because they take the cards, they wing them all over the room, and they say, go pick them up. All right? So that's 52 pickup. Henry did that to me. And then he had his mom. His mom was Aunt M. Aunt M was really cool. You know what he got his mother for Christmas one year?
A box of nothing.
He turns around, and he gets her. He brings it into the house. You ever see a box that a refrigerator comes in?
Yeah.
Comes in with one of those. Fills the whole thing with newspaper, and then there's a box maybe the size of a stove inside of that. And then she gets, you know, when you get a box the size of a refrigerator, you know how excited you get. You're like, oh, baby, yes! So she opens it up, and then she's like, wait a minute. And then she sees this other box, now the size of a stove. So your hopes are still up, right? So then she does that box, and she opens that up, and the next box is like the size of a suitcase. So she's like, okay. So she opens that up. Meanwhile, every person is like staring at this, like, what is it? What is it? This has got to be like the best Christmas present. So then, after the size of the suitcase, she opens up one, and maybe it's like this big. And then she opens up that one, and now maybe it's this big. And she opens it up, and there's a little one like this. Now, girls.
It's a wedding ring.
Girls, it was his aunt, it was his mother. Now, girls, if you see something, a box this big, what do you think?
Hey, Mom.
Jewelry of some sort, right? Right, ring, whatever it is. So Annie M is so excited. She's like, oh God, he got me jewelry, it's gonna be so great. She opens it up, pair of chattering teeth. Puts it on the table and they start chattering all over the place. So I do remember that. I like packages. I like packages instead of parentheses. Exponents, which we're going to talk a lot about today, and then multiply and divide. You go left to right. For example, do you want to know how to start World War III in your house?
Yes. You say I got.
I will tell you exactly how to start World War III in your house. Let's say you want to go to the movies. Go up to mom. Say, Mommy. Mommy. My room's clean. Mommy. Can I go to the movies? And like you pick the wrong moment. It's like, no! You resort to plan B. Daddy. That, especially the girls. Girls they're all over that, like white on rice. So they turn around and go, hey, Daddy, can I go to the movies? Now, Dad, he doesn't know nothing. Dad's dumb. I'm a dad. I'm dumb, all right? Dads are like, all right, you know, they don't think you have some like ulterior, sinister motive. So Dad says, hey, yeah, no problem. You go to the movies. Here, here's $15. Go enjoy yourself. And then Mom finds out. You ever been there, done that, right? Mom's like, what? I told you no! And then she starts screaming at Dad. And Dad's like, kids just ask me. Gets really ugly. Likewise, MD, Mom, Dad. If you ask Dad first, don't ask Mom. Do what Dad says. If you ask Mom first, don't ask Dad. Do what Mom says. So whenever we get to the part where it says multiply and divide, we just go left to right. Same thing with add and subtract. Now, I don't have a good expression for A and S. So, yeah, there you go. All right. Now, what's the trick for remembering the order of operations? God bless. Please excuse my... I was nice. Put dear Aunt Sally. Could have been dead Aunt Sally. Or PEMDAS. Please, PEMDAS. Or PEMDAS. All right, so evaluate 3x plus 2y if x is 5 and y is 2. Now you'll see, you don't have to do this. See, you're doing a great job, but they're all right here for you. I know, but I did all the notes for you. So you don't have to go exactly. See, look, 3x plus 2y. And then I leave you room. Okay? So now, 3x plus 2y if x is 5 and y is 2. Now we said before, what does 3x mean, everybody? 3y. 3, what operation? ¿Qué es una operación? Multiply, that's right. So you're going to do 3 times 5 plus 2 times what? 2, and then figure it out. Go ahead. If you have the answer already, let everybody catch up. Yeah, I write all of that stuff out for you guys, so you don't have to waste time writing out, and you can just pay attention. Focus is a beautiful thing. Like I said, focus is a beautiful thing. Yeah, but what happens is then the talking can distract people around you.
Yeah, so
Okay, ready? So we said that what I wrote here is it's going to be 3 times. The dot is for times, but I don't know what the x is yet, so to speak, and then the 2 times whatever the y is. So the x works out to be 5. Did you see that? Ha! Who wasn't paying? I worked my butt off on preparing this, and I got people like, I missed it. You all should have went, ooh. Ah. Now watch this one so you can see. Ready? See, the x was 5. So I took the 5 and I went, whoop, boom, bam, in your face. I put the 5 right there. Now, watch. Here we go. Ready? Bam! Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
bam!
And then, There we go. Very good. All right, now, 3 times 5 is 15. Now, notice something here. This is very subtle, but we have to point it out. I did my multiplying before I did my adding. 3 times 5 is 15, and then I don't do 15 plus 2, because I'd be violating the order of operations. So then I do 2 times 2, because multiplying comes first. That's 4, and then 15 and 4 is 19. Next one, evaluate 4x squared minus 5y. Now, let's go back to last year. What does this little exponent of squared mean?
You have to take that number and double it.
No, not double. Seriously, not double. You need to multiply it by itself.
Yes.
That's not the same as doubling. Doubling is multiplying by 2.
Oh,
Okay. So you want to multiply it by itself. So for instance, hold on a second. If I said 10 to the 3rd power, that would mean what times what times what?
10 times 10 times
10 times 10 times 10, which would ultimately be 1,000, right? If I said 2 to the 4th power, what would that be? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So when I see this 4x squared thing here, it says x is 3, so I have to do the exponent first. Got to do 3 squared, then times 4, and then of course the minus 5y. Go ahead, do it.
What? Oh my god.
Did it?
Nicely done. We'll let everybody catch up. Do, 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 do.
You are really distracting me, sir.
I haven't seen too much of Jurassic Park. No, that's not Jurassic Park. That's
Funky couch.
Jeopardy.
No, it's
It's like the same thing.
Is it? Do, 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 do. Hop! Da na 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 na. Da da na 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 wah wah. Anybody ever hear that song on Jeopardy?
It's
I heard it on YouTube.
It's still recording. I noticed that you were singing.
Oh, it noticed I was singing? Nice. Do you know how bad a vocalist I am? Besides the fact that you just heard me sing. I am so bad I was cut from a church choir. That's the truth. That so help me God, I was cut from a church choir. I went out for choir in 5th grade. The lady hit the key on the left side of the piano, said, sing that note. I went, ah. She hit one in the middle. I said, ah. And then she hit one on the right side. I went, ah. She says, yeah, the church needs help with other things. Okay, so, nah, that's help me God, that's the truth. All right, years of therapy to get over that. Okay, 4 times 3 squared minus 5 times 3. Now, what's the first thing I'm going to do here? Am I going to do 4 times 3? Am I going to do 3 squared? Am I going to do minus the 5 or 5 times 3? What do I do first? 3. 3 squared, very good. What is 3 squared, everybody? 6, right?
Yeah.
No,
Nine.
what is it? 9, nice.
I was about to say
So
that.
now I have to do 4 times 9 minus 5 times 3, which is kind of like the one before. What's 4 times 9? Talk to me. 4 times 9. Everybody.
36.
36. Very good. Next, 5 times 3. 15. So now I do 36 minus 15, and I get 21. Nice. Okay. We're not going to actually figure these out. I just want you to tell me what step I do first. What do I do first here? Exponent. Good. What do I do here? Multiply. Good. What do I do here?
Add.
No.
Subtract.
Subtract. Equal in priority, left to right. So exponent,
What am I supposed to do?
multiply, subtract. Okay, next. Evaluate each if A is 4, B is 2, and C is 5. Go ahead, do it.
What is B?
It just asks what step you would do. So here you would write exponent, right? This one was multiply, and this one was subtract. Okay. Now, here's the first one. 2. Anybody get 2?
No.
Oh, I didn't see the
I got
ones
2.
on top.
Okay. 2 is very. If you got 2, it's perfect. If you didn't get 2, can you find the spot where you went wrong?
I didn't fill it.
Well, if you didn't finish, were you doing it right so far as you were going along?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And the next one, we have to do what first over here?
Subtract.
Subtract first. Very good. So I come up with 7.
Okay.
Okay,
Didn't finish.
here's the happy recap. We put the whole lesson together for us. Ready? What's a variable? Huh. Right, we use letters a lot. What can variables do?
Change.
Change. Excellent. Very good.
My bad.
Okay, what's the order of operations? PEMDAS. P stands for? Parentheses or packages. E. Exponents. MD.
My dad.
Multiply, divide, equal priority. Do not start World War III. AS.
Aunt Sally.
Add, subtract. Nicely done. All right, guys, you can pack your stuff up. Now, notice underneath this, you're going to see.
Is this homework?
Well, once you see the word homework, from that point forward, you have to finish the rest of the package. Okay?
Do you practice?
I don't think we're going to have time to get the practice done today. I always put the practice there, but we don't always get to it. Now, I have to stop the recording.